Hey, First Baptist, coming to you from my backyard this time. Wanted to mix it up a little bit, keep you on your toes. Hope you all had a great Easter, chance to celebrate the resurrection. Love what all we had yesterday in our video with different people and faces, remembering we're part of a bigger church family. Thanks to Rick especially for the work he put in on the music, and Jeff on video editing for this last Sunday. So put a lot of work in. I don't know about you, but there are moments for me where I feel kind of done with this. You always feel like that, but I just had a couple moments in the last day or so where I just feel like, okay, I'm done. So I think we're all having those moments where we have to fight to remember the bigger picture, that hey, God has a plan in this. He's doing something. There are things He is working in our hearts and teaching us. And there are things that we will learn about Him. There are ways that we will draw closer to Him through this. There are ways that He's working on our church family, things He's doing in us and in our body. And so just trying to fight for that. Sometimes it gets hard, but we're in that fight, and we're in it together, First Baptist. So let's continue with that. Also wanted to just remind us, if you have needs, please let someone know. It doesn't always have to come through the office or through myself. It can just be another person in the church family that you know that you can reach out to ask for help. We want to develop ways to meet needs, and we're working on that a little bit. Your elders have a list of people that they're reaching out to, but we're just trying to figure out ways to make sure we're taking care of each other like family. And so don't hesitate to express the need like you would to your family. That's what we're here for. We're in this together. So if you need a mask, I had someone contact me today and just ask, what can I get a mask? Because I can't go anywhere without a mask. So we're getting them a mask tomorrow morning. So let us know if you have needs of any sort, and we'll make sure you're taken care of, all right? Let's be a family in this. Also, wanted to talk about this campaign we're launching, Jesus Changed My Life. This is part of a citywide, national, worldwide campaign to, on social media, let the world know how Jesus has changed our lives. And we all have a story about how Jesus has done that if we're Christians. I love what John Piper says. He says, your testimony is never boring. Being raised from the dead is never boring. And all of us, if we're Christians, we were raised from death to life. Listen to a couple of verses that remind us of this. Ephesians 2:5 says, even when we were dead in our trespasses, He made us alive together with Christ. That's a radical Jesus changed my life moment, right? Colossians 1:13, He has delivered us from the domain of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of His beloved Son. 1 Peter 2:10, once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. And so here's the idea behind this, is that in 60 seconds, or as close to that as we can get, we share with people how Jesus has changed our lives. And this is designed to go out on social media, so Instagram, Facebook, that sort of thing. And if you are part of those, we want to challenge you to share those. You have all kinds of friends, I'm sure, who do not know Christ, who you want to see come to know Him. And so share that on there. But if you do, please tag us with the little hashtag, first, Jesus Changed My Life, and then second, with the hashtag Canoga Baptist. And then it'll kind of connect us to the rest of the people that are in on this in our church, and then even more broadly. So if you are not on social media, just record it with your phone, good lighting, and then send it to the church. You can email it or contact me, and I'll let you know how to get it to me. And we'll post it on our social media if that's okay with you. So that's the challenge. And again, the goal is to tell our stories, to give Jesus praise for what He's done, and to let the world know that He can change their lives as well. So without further ado, I want to just share with you mine, and you can check that out and just give a little sample of what a story might look like. Hey everyone, just want to share with you for a moment about how Jesus changed my life. I grew up in a Christian home, taught the Bible, taken to church, and yet what happened is I became rather self-righteous, self-sufficient, very focused on my performance and what I could do to to gain others' approval and praise, and what I could do to earn God's favor. And at some point I realized that all that could be fake and empty. And it probably was for me. It made me realize that I desperately needed Jesus. That all that I could do was never enough. I needed to trust in what Jesus had done. That he died on the cross for my sins, and that he rose again victorious. And as I trusted in him, he began to change me just in dramatic ways. He brought me from death to life. He began to work on my heart. And he's continued to strip away my pride and self-righteousness and to make me more and more like Jesus over time. I'm a work in progress, but Jesus has changed my life. And my hope and prayer would be that he would change yours too. Thanks for taking the time to listen. So that's my story. It's different than yours, no doubt. But it's a story of how Jesus changed my life. So let's continue to look for ways to share this. And the challenge is for all of us now. This week, I would challenge you, at the latest, the end of next week, to get this video done. It's remarkably hard to do it in under a minute. I think mine ended up being like a minute and 18 seconds or something like that. And I had to do all these takes of it. But I'm convinced it'll be worth it in the end. So just relax, be yourself, and just think of telling your friend how Jesus has changed your life. So that's my encouragement for you, challenge for you, to go do that this week. And we will be pray with us all together for how God will use this to spread the gospel and build his kingdom. Thanks, First Baptist. Love you all. Have a great one.